Joe, of course, Vice Premier Leah He in Washington right now. How close are we to a deal?
Well, there are still some things to be worked out, but we're getting some insights, at least, into where the talks are going. Among them is a deal for China would get until 2025 to implement certain parts of it, including commodity purchases and allowing U.S. companies to wholly own their subsidiaries in China. They're moving ahead with those. There are still a few other issues that are unresolved, including the enforcement mechanism. The U.S. wants to be able to retaliate against China if it does not comply with the terms. The Chinese are holding back on that and not vowing to retaliate for any U.S. moves. The other thing is what happens to the tariffs that are currently in place. The Trump administration has said that they may hold some of these tariffs in place until it is sure that China is complying with the agreement. The big question is how comprehensive it will be. The U.S. side is very eager to get a deal, particularly with President Trump's re-election campaign coming up in 2020. They want to get those commodity purchases contracted so that that can sort of close the trade deficit with China as the campaign is getting underway. But they are still trying to move toward having some sort of meeting between Trump and Chinese leader Xi somewhere to sign this agreement in the near future.
Yeah, Larry Kudlow sounding sort of cautiously optimistic, but saying we're getting closer, we're not there yet. Does this suggest that we are in kind of the final stretch before we could get a potential summit between the two leaders to get something signed?
Right. I think they have a few more details to work out, particularly, as I mentioned, the enforcements and on the tariffs. And the question will be whether this is going to be as far-reaching in terms of what the U.S. has been demanding in terms of what China does with its some of the fundamentals of the way it does business. There are still issues of intellectual property that have not been resolved, and those will be part of a longer-term deal going as far out as 2029. Whether those can be wrapped up fully and get agreement on sort of enforcement mechanisms and verification will be the real trick of getting something done. Whether they can sign this more full agreement or something falling short of that.